so the verdict can be reviewed and published.
Ms.
I know
Hale,
many of you here in the
Who's
audience
getting verdict
have
reached,
been here
guys?
throughout the trial, and I want to thank you for conducting yourselves appropriately throughout the trial. I realize that the reading of the verdict can be very stressful, and it is likely that some of you will agree with the jury's verdict and some of you will not. As sometimes happens, it may be that no one is pleased with the jury's verdict. Whatever your personal feelings are about this jury's verdict, I ask you to remember that these jurors were randomly selected from our community. They were thoroughly questioned by the court and lawyers for both sides, and they were selected from the larger group to hear this case because of their demonstrated ability to be fair and impartial. I've paid close attention to this jury, and they have been attentive, observant, and focused throughout the trial. No matter how much you agree or disagree with the verdict, there are to be no outbursts of emotion. Our judicial system, in fact, our entire society, has relied on jurors to help resolve disputes for over 200 years. Their verdict needs to be respected, even if you don't understand it or don't agree with it. Are you ready to bring in the jury?
Yes, sir.
Hey y'all, so this, I'm wondering what it's going to be, because earlier they did not reach a verdict, so I'm just kind of curious as to what this verdict is going to be. And like I said, keep in mind, this jury is mostly women. And I wonder how far it was, like they were saying they couldn't reach a verdict, and then they were like, no, we're going to go back and decide if we can put the unanimous verdict. So I literally just finished my video earlier of the closing argument. Just got my makeup off.
All right, y'all can have a seat.
Okay, y'all, here it goes.
Members of the jury, I understand you have a verdict and you have a foreperson.
Yes, we do.
Ma'am, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, we have.
Is the verdict unanimous?
Yes, it is.
Would you please hand the verdict form to the deputy? I need to check it and make sure it's in proper form.
Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe.
All right, the verdict appears to be in proper form. Madam Clerk, would you please publish the verdict?
In the Circuit Court of the 12th Judicial Circuit in and for Manatee County, Florida, the state of Florida versus Ashley Benefield, case number 2020 CF 3014. Verdict. We, the jury, finds as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense. Did Ashley Benefield actually carry a firearm? Yes. Did Ashley Benefield discharge a firearm? Yes. Did Ashley Benefield, as a result of discharging a firearm, cause death to Douglas Benefield? Yes. So say we all this 30th day of July, 2024 at Bradenton, Manatee County, Florida. Cheryl Foreperson.
Would either side like the jury polled? State?
No.
Defense?
Yes, sir.
Members of the jury, you're now going to be polled. The clerk is going to ask each of you individually if this is your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole. Madam Clerk?
Juror number 15, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror number 20, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror 21, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror number 29, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror number 33, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
And juror number 35, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Thank you. Members of the jury, I want to thank you for your time and consideration in this case. I know that many of you have missed important work obligations and family obligations and other engagements that you had planned, as well as time with your families. But I want to thank you for being willing to give us your time and your attention and being observant to this entire trial and serving as jurors and doing your civic duty. I have paperwork that we're going to give you that will reflect your service as a juror, as well as a piece of paper from the clerk's office documenting that each of you has been here for these number of days if you need it for work purposes. If you need some sort of other paperwork for work or anything like that, contact my judicial assistant and we'll be able to get that for you. I also want to advise you of some very special privileges that all jurors enjoy.
Oh, you guys,
No juror can ever be required
I'm
to
so
talk about the
thankful.
discussions
Thank
that occurred
God.
in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied
That's your
upon
partner,
juries
huh?
for consideration
really,
of difficult
this is
cases.
good, but thank
We
God.
have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, discussions, and votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish it. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are at liberty to speak with anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak with anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. Bless you. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror or not. Again, on behalf of myself, the entire judges of the 12th Circuit, thank you very much for your time and your attention during this trial. I now discharge you as jurors in this case and release you from any further obligations in this matter. You're free to go. Make sure you pick up your electronic devices, and please make sure that your notes stay with the deputy. They're going to be returned to me. They will be destroyed. No one will ever read your notes. Thank you.
She's trying to get something out before she goes locked up. She's getting locked up, y'all. This is God,
All right, you all can have a seat.
Was
The jury is out.
the Benefield family.
State.
Judge, I would ask you to remand the defendant at this point. I believe she has a right to a PSI for sentencing, so I'm not sure if she would waive that or proceed with that.
Do you to PSI?
I think we'd prefer to have PSI.
I'll sign an order tonight for that. It's a late in the evening. My judicial assistant will reach out to both of you tomorrow to begin coordinating a hearing, sentencing hearing. You could let her know how much time you need. Right now, the pre-sentence investigations are running a month to 6 weeks, so it'll certainly, the time for sentencing will be outside of that. But then
Wow.
you can let me know how much time you'll need.
Wow.
Let me direct myself, Your Honor, to post-trial release if I can.
Yes, sir.
Under Youngston, I know that Younghans, I know that the court is familiar with the standard. They stated in no uncertain terms, but if taken in good faith on grounds not frivolous but fairly debatable in view of the decisions of the Supreme Court, then the petitioner should be admitted to bail. And they set out for the trial court 3 factors. The first, with respect to the appeal not being frivolous, I think by the court's own acknowledgement at 2 different points in the trial, the court noted that we were dealing with novel issues that the court had not seen before. I think we certainly have good and sufficient grounds to appeal in good faith. The factors, according to Younghans, Your Honor, is the habits of the individual as respect for the law. Ms. Benefield has no prior history of criminal activity, as the court knows. Her local attachments to the community by way of family ties, business, or investments. She lives here in Bradenton, has lived here for a while. Her mother resides here. Her child resides here. The severity of the punishment imposed for the offense, that is substantial. There's no denying it. And any other circumstance relevant to the question of whether the person would be tempted to remove herself from the jurisdiction of the court. Ms. Benefield, on every single occasion over the course of the life of this case, has appeared when requested.
Yeah,
She
but
has
now
never
she's been found
once
guilty of
failed to meet
manslaughter.
any obligation pursuant to the bond that
There's
she's
a
on.
huge difference.
As a result, we ask that the court entertain setting a post-trial bond.
What?
The only other thing that the court noted in the Younghands decision was that it's axiomatic that the exercise of judicial discretion should never be arbitrary, capricious, or unreasonable. And where the discretion is exercised in favor of denying to a person a basic and fundamental right, the reasons for doing so should be sound and they should be clearly stated. So pursuant to Rule 3.691, post-trial release, Your Honor, we ask that the court admit Ms. Benefield to bond, continue her on the same bond, in fact. And if the court is not inclined to do so, we ask that Your Honor stay the decision so that we can appeal directly to the second district. As the court knows, it's an accelerated docket because of the nature of the motion, that is to say, the bond.
Thank you. State, did you want to be heard?
Judge, I object to any bond at this point. The potential sentence is 30 years. While this defendant may have appeared at every court hearing, she was not convicted of the charge at the time. She has much more at stake at this point, being convicted of this crime, and I would ask you to deny the bond.
Thank you. Please deny.
Rebuttal. Ms. Benefield, the jury, having found you guilty of manslaughter with a firearm, are going to remand you to the custody of the Manatee County Sheriff. We're going to revoke your bonds where you'll be held pending sentencing.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, God. Oh, so nice to see her. Oh, she is pissed.
All right, the court has stayed in recess until we get a sentencing hearing set up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I trust Your Honor will issue a written order on the bond.
The bond?
Yes.
Yes. If it's required, I certainly will.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Wow, they put a long day in, y'all. Oh, y'all, I am so thankful that they found her guilty. That this is such good news. I was so worried with so many women on the jury that they were gonna be more sympathetic and want her to be with her daughter, but I'm so thankful that they saw through her and realized that actually she put her daughter through so much when she was born. I had in one of my videos where I said that she put her through an oxygen, a huge space ship looking thing where they had to go in 40 hours a week under an oxygen kind of device where they had to basically be in there all day, where she was trying to have metals kind of removed from their body because she was claiming that Doug had poisoned them while she was pregnant. Now, mind you, she wasn't living with Doug the entire time that she was pregnant. She was in Florida. Doug was in South Carolina. So she was trying to claim that Doug was poisoning her and her unborn child. and she put her child through a lot of medical testing and a lot of medical treatments. And this is a form of Munchausen by proxy. She was a danger to her child, just to make it look like Doug was doing things to this baby. And so it is so good that she is going to not be in this child's life. And it's really sad as well, because this child doesn't know anything else. But this is great for justice for Doug's family. This will not bring Doug back, but it's just such a sad situation all the way around. So I hope that everyone will just continue to keep the Benefield family in your prayers. Keep Emerson in your prayers, because now not only will she not have either one of her parents, but now she's going to be raised by Ashley's mother, which is scary in itself, because look how Ashley turned out. So it's just baffling to me that Ashley's mother gets custody, and where she's not going to know the Benefield family. So it's just really sad. But I'm thankful that God answered the prayers, and that God had the jury see through Ashley's ploy and her terrible story and what she did. And it is just sad that it took 4 years to get here, but thankfully now Doug can finally rest in peace. So there it is. There's the verdict. It came tonight, and we just praise God. Thank you so much. And I appreciate everyone watching this video, and I hope everyone got to catch up. And again, God bless you all. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment. And I appreciate it. Kamsahamnida. Thank you.